Video. Yeah, seems like an okay day. Windy though. Now. Yeah, it was beautiful a minute ago. Anyway, get to the project here. Oh, back. Yeah, walking funny. Anyway, it's such a misery. So that's the subject, sort of. So it's sort of the asymmetry, sort of the difference between need and want, the difference between, what is a projection of value, a creation of value in our heads, versus what has real value in the world. So what kind of objective statements, empirical, absolute statements about the absolute truth of the mechanics of the machine that we are. What are we consuming exactly, and what are we producing exactly? And I would argue that what messes up the game a little is desire. Desire is a weird concept. Wanting. It grows into needing. But it is conceptually, like, I could just delude myself right now. I could imagine I have a 12-inch dick and everybody loves me and I'm going to be famous and wonderful and everything's going to be so cool tomorrow. And I could just play with that, delude myself into believing it, have a little joyful moment, blah, 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 content myself, please myself. I could please myself in a lot of other ways, likewise, physical. And, and that would be what we'd call a good. Being pleased, gaining comfort. But again, that's the game, gaining comfort, acquiring the comfort. So when we argue about the asymmetry, what we're really making a distinction between is between something wanted and something needed. There needs to be protection from or elimination of harm, suffering, pain of substantial proportions. Those things are known bad things, and they are to be prevented or avoided if possible, because it's not good for a consciousness to be in those horrible states of sensation experience. So that needs to be corrected. That's just a truth, an absolute truth, that it's better not to put forks in sentient beings' eyes if there's no productive outcome beyond the obvious consumption of their welfare, the pain and suffering. It's something to be prevented. That's gasoline burned, essentially. An unnecessary, substantial suffering is waste. It's value wasted. And it's sort of an absolute. You can't agree? Well, then we have nothing to talk about. I really don't. We can't communicate. You're not on this planet. Inhale the bug. I think permanently. Anyway, where was I? So this is where we get into this whole distinction between this projection of I need it for like my own purposes versus it needs to be done in and of itself. It doesn't matter what my purposes are if somebody else is suffering. The functionality, the productivity of me doing something to prevent their suffering would be a good. Alright, so different ways to illustrate this. There's been lots of metaphors, but let's play with them a little. It's an important distinction. It's a hugely important element of understanding. So if I said, alright, there are 7 billion people on Earth. Well, let's say there could have been 8 billion. Easy enough. Now, we haven't missed or felt anguish for all of the missed out joys that have been not experienced by that extra billion people. We average people, I would say you, me, 99.9% of people have not spent any time contemplating the horror of a billion unpopped, well, a half a billion unpopped cherries and, first sex and beautiful moments and whatever the grand balloon chasey Walt Disney fun that they haven't experienced. Now, we don't sit around lamenting it. We don't shed a single tear. Our eyes don't even water I'm conceiving it. Oh, that terrible missed opportunity to have fun. And I just can't make myself feel bad. I have no Lassie come home emotion. I'm not getting tear jerked at all. Now, if I was to think about a billion people suffering, going through horrible death or, sad, tragic life, self-hating, they're cutting themselves, they have a compulsive disorders, they have this, they have Prozacs, they have this, that, the other thing, depressions. I start thinking about a billion individuals going through that anguish. Now that provokes an understanding, a representation, a connection. I can feel that pain. I can sense. Oh, the bug. Come back to haunt me. Apparently allergic to the bug also. Gonna kill me, little fucker. Damn bugs. Really don't care for bugs much. I really love bugs, but they've been biting the fuck out of me, and just being rather annoying this year. Anyway, that noise. That's bad today. Anyway, what was I? Well, except by my house, where it's just horrendous. Anyway, so that's where the asymmetry comes in the sense that the necessity of fixing, the suffering. You could just take one child, for example, and then you have, on one side I can stop a child from crying in desperate fear because they've just been diagnosed as having cancer, and I can take away that trauma by simply negating the creation. Look at all these little dead ones here. Lots of corpses. Negating, whatever, a million happy ice cream cone eatings. Or even the concept of birthday parties. Just eliminate all birthday parties. It's not a real harm. It's not like people will miss them if they never existed. They'll come up with some other bullshit, double Halloween instead, or double Christmas or whatever. There'll still be plenty of kids' days. That day, that is their birthday, won't be some kind of horrible day because they didn't have a birthday party. So yeah, you could say, I would sacrifice that, because those are all things that aren't needed. They're just things that we think we need. Like a team winning the World Series, it's just a way we have found to jerk our brains off, and that's all it is. It's a acquisition of an accomplishment syndrome. You think it's an accomplishment. It's the belief that it's an accomplishment that makes it affect you in this way where you feel pleased or satisfied, and it's just a switch inside your brain where the value of the sparing the child the suffering isn't just a switch in your brain. It's a reality in her brain, and it's a huge difference between that, from that, say, not that neutral state of not feeling profoundly happy or sad. From going from the neutral to the sad, I think, quite obviously, has significant more weight than the neutral to the glad. The glad is perceptual, short-lived, merely an illusion of how you process information. It doesn't really have to do with anything in the world, where your appreciation for your own suffering or the suffering of another is so much more credible, so much more deep, so much more real. And so I guess that's the obvious distinction. And it just parallels the asymmetry argument, which is merely pointing out that in the don't mess with it state, in the don't create the need for it state, there is no negative potential. You're not creating lonesome or sad or deprived individuals. I don't know what all these are from. Maybe I'll ask them. So what's the deal with you guys? How come there's so many of you that are, not doing so well? Well, it's by biology, it might be a virus thing or something. I mean, this guy looked like he almost made it. Okay, well, no, he didn't almost make it either. I don't know, it's like, when zillions of us are hatched, some of us are going to be fucked up. I have a little fuck up mark on the back of my neck, see that? Yeah, I don't know what that means. Something bit you or something? Maybe something stung you in them. Oh yeah, those crazy wasps. They come around, it's just a pebble. Never mind. Okay, fuck that theory. I have a big penis. Anyway, I didn't get to use it though. Which kind of sucks, actually. But anyway, it's kind of fucked up. Parasites. Yeah, we'll just blame parasites or something. Yeah, I guess. Some sort of cicada virus or something. Just make some of your defects, I guess. Yeah, well, if you're not one thing or another, defects, me back, live, dead, whatever. It all seems about the same to me. But, I'm dead, so I guess I really can't make comparisons when I'm dead. So, well, maybe my opinion's not qualified because I am dead, and dead opinion things probably isn't very, well, you know what I mean. Well, sort of, I get the drift of it, The dead don't really have very good, mental process. So, yeah. Well, go about your business. I'll put you back with somebody just so you don't get lonely. Right? Yeah, that's funny. Lonely when you're dead. You can't be really lonely. But anyway, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, I'm pretty dead. Yeah, they're talking to each other. Apparently they're both dead. So anyway, till the next time and such.